My most memorable memory, it's hard to identify because we have almost 70 years of history. To identify one single incident out of that is tough. One event that I remember is probably my first memorable event that involves my father. He was not terribly involved in my life. He didn't want to take too much responsibility as a father. So I was probably 4 or 5 years old then. One early morning, it was winter, he suddenly woke me up and said, "Get ready, we are going out." And that seemed very unusual and exciting. So he took me out, I dressed up with anticipation, and we started walking. It was dark, it was still dark. So we lived in a place close to Deshupur Park. So we went through the park and finally stopped, walked through the park and reached the tram line on Rajbari Avenue. And then I realized wherever we are going, it involves a tram card ride. That was exciting. So finally the tram came. It was the first tram of the day. We got up, and I still remember we went to the very front. There are 2 seats where you can see through the window, and it felt tremendous. And it was still dark, a little foggy. And finally the tram moved away from the city and entered the Maidan area. And suddenly at one point he got up, he struck the bell, and we got off, and the tram went away. And we were left in this completely empty space. And I held his hand, we walked into the Maidan itself with trees, and the fog was so dense that you couldn't see a few feet away. And suddenly he left my hand and I couldn't see him anymore. So that was the hide and seek we were playing out there with this extreme fog, and there was fear of being alone. At the same time, I knew he was there. He was there somewhere. And I mentioned it in my book because it sort of acted as a metaphor of the relationship we had the rest of our lives. That he never, and I'm very fortunate about it, that he never told me what to do, what not to do, what is right, what is wrong, never. And yet, so he allowed me to grow independently, make my own choices. There was a respect for that I am capable of making my own choices. I'm sure he had his own preferences, but I never could sense that. At the same time, I knew he was always there in case there is a need. So that event stayed with me. It was an insignificant event, but it stayed with me almost as a metaphor for the rest of my life.